I'm Alya and I'm here with the awesome production duo Balistiq. I've been trying to get them to tell me who's who, but they didn't want to, so now they're gonna have to because they're on camera.
Ryan. Andrew.
You guys have recently produced tracks for the likes of Etabon, G-Fresh, Tinie Tempah. What is it about an artist that makes you want to get into the studio with them?
When we hear their music, it looks like honest. They're not really trying to be a contrived image of someone else or whatever, and they're just trying to, they're on their own mission that we want to be a part of.
So the main thing is, I think it just comes down to if we're feeling it or not, basically. Just whatever we're into, like, we'll work with that.
You said in an interview a couple of years back, you said that when you're producing, you sort of go for a vibe, and then everything else, like genre definitions, all of that kind of comes secondary to that.
Yeah, definitely, always, definitely. We just vibe and then see what comes out, just experiment, and then if we're feeling it and the artist is feeling it, then we'll work on it.
So what's the sort of process in studio?
Say like someone was to come in here now and we started working with them, usually a conversation. So we kind of just like start the vibe, man, whatever. Like we might have something already there that we've started making and they might be feeling it. Or if we start something from scratch, it will just be a case of us building something quickly and then them just getting into it and then we work it from there, really. Do you know what I mean? So there isn't really a set way of doing stuff with us.
So I know you guys do a lot of all your stuff together. Do you ever not see eye to eye, or?
Yeah.
It's like tennis. It's like, for example, I might start with an idea, and then once I've got it to a place, then Andrew will walk in and do what he's doing, and then we'll just add and subtract things until we're both happy.
I heard you guys went to college together.
Yeah.
So that's how you guys met.
Well, no, we met before that through a mutual friend, but we both ended up within the same class in college. And I think I was the only person Andrew knew.
Yeah, in the class.
Yeah, likewise.
And then, and obviously at the time in college, like the whole Gram thing was just starting. We're from the East, and obviously, and like the whole thing was happening around here. A lot of the MCs went to our college and stuff like that, so we just become known as the guys that was making beats and stuff.
Lauren Morley on Twitter. Hey Lauren. She wanted me to ask you guys which tunes you listened to while growing up that's kind of fueled your passion for music today.
So much.
There's so much, man.
There's so much. And I think it's a big reason why we're so versatile and you can't really pinpoint where our music sits within music, because we grew up on everything, literally. Like from Michael Jackson, Stevie, Lovers Rock, reggae, drum and bass, jungle, grime, techno, like
everything,
hip hop, R&B. Just
really
everything.
specific,
We absorbed everything.
But if you want to be like, if you're asking what probably influenced us to do what we're doing now, together anyway. Like when we started doing what we was doing, like Neptunes was the biggest thing at the time. So when people asked us like who kind of like was the thing at the time, like it would be Neptunes. Because when we was doing our thing, they were just everywhere all the time, and they were doing things so differently to everyone else. And it's kind of like basically what we do. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously they've just smashed everything into pieces, but
and they did it their way.
Yeah, they did it their way.
That was just amazing.
They changed the sound of things. Do you know what I'm saying? Without worrying about like everything they was doing was against the norm.
Against the grid.
Like it didn't sound like everything else that was on the radio. Do you know what I mean? So that's how we like to do stuff. So if there is one, I don't know, artist or set of people that we sort of like aspire to in that sense, it would be them.
Is that really important for you guys, not conforming to the norm?
Definitely. Because otherwise, what's the point?
We can't. We just can't. Like.
What is it about it that's so like?
I don't know. It's just like I think it's the way we're wired. Like even if we sat down and said, "Yeah, we're gonna make a house tune," it would never come out like that. We just can't do it because as soon as we be like, "Oh yeah, the house tune needs to go like this." That just doesn't agree with us.
Like the way we make music, we don't follow. We're not trained on instruments or like, do you know what I mean, stuff like that. So we don't have any kind of like set way of doing things. So if we knew a certain tune had to go a certain way, we'd go the other way. Just even out of stubbornness again. Do you know what I'm saying?
So can you tell me a bit about how the tune with Tinie Tempah came about on his new album?
Yeah, that was mad. The tune we did with G-Fresh samples Tamil's Never Can I, samples a Tamil song called Nakamuka.
Okay.
The way that come about is we both used to work in Sainsbury's, And my colleague at the time, she's from Sri Lanka. And she's like, oh, you need to hear this song, Nakamuka, Nakamuka. And she knows that we were doing music at the time. And I was like, yeah, just send it to me. Send it. I was like, heard it.
Sick.
No, we need to sample this. So done that from what, 2007 or something like that, that beat.
Yeah.
And Tinie actually had that beat first, but
Okay.
didn't end up using it. G Fresh heard it. No, we redone it, and G used it for his mixtape. But in the process of clearing the sample with our publishers, the Indian office said, "Hey, you've done that. Here, take all these other things."
There was a whole
Sick.
folder of tracks that they only copyright to, so they were like, just do what you want to do with them.
Yeah. So done that, sent it to Tinie, and then he sent us back what he did. And it was
Amazing. So Andrew, I know your brother is MC Rage, who's Chasing Status's frontman. How is that kind of growing up with your brother so in the limelight and stuff? What kind of did that help you?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I think it made the whole thing a bit more closer to home, as in like it's there, innit? You can just do it. Because I think a lot of people, when they want to do music and stuff, it seems like something that's very far away.
Yeah.
And it might seem like it might take ages, but obviously he come up through jungle, drum and bass. Like since I was little, he's been doing that. That's all I've seen him do. So, and it took a little while for him to do what he's doing now, but it just shows in it that it's there. You can do it. And with it being in the house all the time, and obviously with people that he knows, and just like, even when I first started out, I used to DJ, drum and bass and that. So when I first started out, even things like kitting equipment and tunes and things like that, I always had people there, being in the studio with people. So I think it was cool in that sense. It helped me a lot.
What's the kind of most valuable advice would you say that he's given you?
To keep doing what you're doing. That's what we tell everyone else as well. Simple as that, man. To keep doing what you're doing.
we hustled, man. Just we still are. Like,
Always, man. Every day, just like constantly, just trying to make it happen.
yeah,
So,
we quit full-time work only a few years ago, and at that time we was doing like 9 to 5 and then 6 till whenever in the morning.
Sleep and all that.
Yeah,
So.
fully falling asleep. You know them ones where you fall asleep, you don't even know you're falling asleep, and then your boss walks in and is like,
I'm awake, I'm here.
You're dreaming about typing.
yeah, them ones.
You wait one button for time, it's just H all the way across your screen. So yeah, all of that.
That's happened, man. That's definitely happened.
Many people say producers are kind of very much on par with artists these days, in terms of you guys are also sort of frontmen and stuff. Do you guys agree with that statement?
Absolutely. Like the audience has changed. I mean, the audience perception of what an artist has changed due to dance music. Really, dance music set the world on fire over like 5 years. So that's essentially changed what the audience perceives to be as an artist.
So what effects, if any, do you think that this will have like on music in future years?
I think we'll get better music because it doesn't actually matter about the image of an artist so much. It's just the tune. And even right now, it's like, as Andrew was saying, it's like the most faceless or imageless chart that we've seen in a while. It's just videos of music.
Yeah.
It's not like anyone singing.
That's
I think now we've got that balance. Even like back in the 70s we had that, and there was better music, 60s, 70s. You just had like artists
music,
like, I don't know, like Barry White or something like that. If Barry White come out now, you'd be like, oh, you'll never make it. But it's like, he had so much good music within him, and that it didn't matter back then. So I think we're kind of getting back to that stage where we're going to have a lot of good music coming through.
That should be the important thing at the end of the day.
Should have always been.
Yeah. So what is your definition of success? What will you have to have achieved to feel like you've achieved that?
We already have.
Great, fantastic, awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys have been ridiculously busy. What's kind of coming up next for you guys in the next few months?
Not touring, doing live gigs in and around different places. Continuing to work on our own projects.
Our own Balistiq stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Releasing things. We've got a few wicked remixes in the pipeline coming up soon, very soon.
Yes.
So really excited about those. And yeah, man, just keeping the ball moving, man, keeping the ball rolling.
So you guys said you have some gigs coming up. When? Where?
Due to be announced.
Yeah, basically. It's
They
still
wanna
getting worked out.
Check on,
Announced
just
it
keep
now?
keep connected.
Everything's Balistiq.com. That will show you
Right,
everything.
that
is.
wasn't even practice.
I'll show
You guys
everything
spent
is.
too much time together.